So to that point then, being, like I said, born and raised here and having the, 10, 11 years in the business and being in Oklahoma City and having that kind of like, I mean, I'm sure that, like you've traveled all over the world, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's so many places that you think, oh, I would love to be here, or I could have gone somewhere else to work. Like, why did you stay in Oklahoma City?
Man, that is a really good question because, listen, when I was working for the company out of Tokyo, it was pretty cool. I'm not going to lie.
Right, yeah.
But Oklahoma's wonderful, but Tokyo is pretty cool too if you haven't been there. So Tokyo and Germany, Mexico, and Calgary, I was there a lot. Man, it was... So it's kind of one of those things. It's funny is I worked for international global companies, and I'd come in there and they'd be like, "So where you from?" And it depends on like how many bourbons I've had. When you're talking about draw comes out. I'm talking about a lot of Oklahoma people starts to develop.
Yeah. It's the same with me with my accent from the UK.
Yeah, right. It's, you get
have a few drinks.
Get some Boddingtons in there.
Game over.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So and they're like, "So where you from? New York or California?" I'm like, "I'm from Oklahoma." And they're like, "Do y'all have running water?" I was like, about a year and a half ago.
And we have Wi-Fi. Yeah.
We have Wi-Fi.
It's slow.
It's slow. It's a little faster than dial-up now. I thank you for asking. But to see people, I mean, it literally was. They called them. They talked. I mean, they don't know, right?
Sure.
They talked natively about Oklahoma. They literally called it flyover country. I always thought that was like a hoax, but they called it flyover country because there's nothing here.
Right.
Technically, to their eyes, right? And I really was. I made their heads explode when I told them I skeet shoot. They're like, "Wait, with like real guns?" I was like, "Yeah, like a shotgun." They're like that. Their heads explode because I'm talking to people that are hardcore San Francisco people. I can tell you that there are probably 12 huge companies there that I have worked for specifically to help protect them for incident response and security. Like I did that myself, and for them to know that Oklahoma has a talent pool like that, their heads kind of explode. So. It was kind of like, the East Coast, West Coast, other countries just weren't really for me because I knew that, born and raised here, my family's been here forever. I could go back for generations. They were here way before a lot of people were sharecroppers. And to build something here, honestly, would have been easier for me than in San Francisco. I proudly, because I don't understand money, I'm not a money guy. My company has zero debt. I literally started my company with $40. Still have no debt. I'm a cash guy. I don't understand. I know what plus and minus is. Yeah. Take that, algebra teachers. Just kidding. Full circle. Just kidding. But like I know like you can spend so much and you can't, right? So. Oklahoma was and I work with a lot of great people, at Chesapeake Loves and Schlumberger. Like there's a huge talent pool and people want to stay here. If they lose, we lose them, they go to Dallas. Yeah. And we actually have a branch in Dallas now, so I was able to get them too. But the talent pool is major and honestly it's affordable for me. For me to hire someone here, we pay people really well. I just throw it out there like our, decent people. And I only say this because I want everyone to come work for me.
Of course.
If you're looking, those jobs are definitely high end. You look at our website, anywhere from 70 to 150 grand a year in cybersecurity, depending on your experience. It's great to take that money and shove it back into the state because, it's a pretty cheap place to live. Yeah. And I can live quote unquote in the country, but I can drive 24 minutes to the big Oklahoma City, right?
Yeah. Everything around you is 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. It's always 20 minutes. Right. And that was kind of my thing. I do travel a lot. We still travel a lot, so I was able to kind of balance book. I love traveling all the world and kind of experience that, but at the same time having roots here, which is a little more grounded. Yeah. And reality is heavy here. From where I've been. I always say there's a lot of people in the world that live the Instagram life. That's not real. It's not real. And to kind of start from the ground up, like literally from the dirt in Oklahoma to build something takes a lot of willpower, and people want you to succeed here. They really do. And, kind of go into that, and I'm just kind of moving in, is we were able to, and the state was able to see it. We were able to win a very large contract with the state of Oklahoma. You guys can look that up online. Very proud of that. And from that, it's a win-win. It's my job, what I always wanted, to make a security company. And don't get me wrong, oil and gas is great. But man, you guys ride that wave. Like, I would love for people to be like, man, Oklahoma? Yeah. Dude, that's where we get cybersecurity people. Yeah. That's the place. I want to build a legacy. I want to build a new industry in Oklahoma. And the state of Oklahoma granting us that wonderful contract, you pay state dollars. Alias is working that job. We're actually doing a monitoring service for the entire state. Like, could be traffic lights, could be gasoline stations. We're monitoring the whole state. We're making the solution.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take that money and I'm going to give it back to Oklahomans who are going to work for me, who are going to pay taxes that go to the state.
Yeah, you're not hiring someone who sat in a coffee shop on a laptop halfway around the world for cheap.
That's correct.
You know?
Yeah, that's not what we do. We don't outsource anything. All my staff works here in Oklahoma. There are a few in Dallas, but all Oklahoma local people who know the industry, who know what Dallas and Oklahoma City and Tulsa is, and that means a lot to me. My legacy means more to me than anything, because I want my kids to look back and be like, man, that was my dad. That's so cool. I'm proud of him, and man, I want to be that too. And I hope that I even on this podcast, thanks for bringing me on again. I hope that I can help instill some passion in the entrepreneurial world to make something bigger than yourself, and give that back, because if it wasn't for the state, if it wasn't for where you were brought up, you wouldn't have it.
Right.
So it's our job to give back and make the world a better place.